Good morning. Welcome to BCB Live. You have Sir Rick. We have Drive Safe Dave getting some batteries put in. He's got to get recharged. He's running a little bit low, but we'll get that figured out. Hey, top of the morning to you, though. We're glad that you're here. We're glad that you're here on a Tuesday following a holiday, that you're here ready to run safe. We are at 49 days of driving safe. I want to thank each and every one of you for what you do, your passion about safety, how you go out there every day, you take it serious, you make it happen. 49 days of driving safe and 6 days of getting out and looking. The streaks are starting to mount. Drive Safe Dave, good morning, buddy.
What's going on, man? 6 days, it matches the date. So as long as we're in the month of July, we'll know exactly how many days of get out and look as long as we keep the streak alive. One more day to 50, right? One more day to 50, the big 5-0, and doing well right here after the holiday. We made it through the holiday, basically.
Yeah, it's always important that we recognize that, because it's even more chaotic than it is, before the holiday. We're at the deadliest 100 days, and we've made it through some of the most difficult ones, the most deadliest being the 4th of July.
Yeah, and we made it all the way through, doing well and continuing the streak. Maybe we'll go through the whole summer that way. We can continue all the way into next year.
Yeah.
Those
no doubt about it. Hey, want to touch real quick on maybe here. We lost our feed here. Where'd my weather go? Well, never mind. Hey, we do have Elsa, okay, coming through. Here we go right now. We want to make sure that we're paying attention right now. We do have some weather coming up. And Drive Safe Day, when we look at this, it looks like about Wednesday, 2 o'clock in the morning is 3, 5, somewhere in that morning range. It will hit in that Tampa area. We're gonna keep you posted throughout the day. The producer will be on every 15 minutes after the hour, so 15 on the hour. We'll have the producer giving us some live updates. Don't worry, we have Dale Keller here going to go over some of the weather as well with us later on, and we're going to still meet throughout the day to make sure we don't have any drivers in harm's way.
Yeah, I know it's going to run up a little bit up the I-95 corridor, up through right up there through Florida into Georgia and the Carolinas, and then push its way out. But we'll keep track of it. Keep mindful. I do know right now it is a tropical storm, which means a lot of rain, which means a ton of dumping, a lot of rain. And
situational awareness. Let's do that real quick, Dave. We talk about the rain, even though it's going to be in the Tampa area. Listen, we know it's going to start moving up north. The situational awareness around where this hurricane is tracking is important, because why?
Well, number one, you're going to have power outages. You're going to have to know that you don't want to go into these areas without fuel. You're going to want to make sure that if you're in there, you want to get away from there, and you want to make sure if you're driving through these areas, even immediately after or before, you're going to have flooding. You're going to have tons of flooding, and you're going to want to make sure that you don't drive in heavy, into an area you're not sure how deep it is ever. You know what I mean? You can drown. You can drown in a big truck. It's not impossible.
Yeah. So be aware of the area. Hey, drive it. Boom! Firecracker. Boom! Bottle rocket.
I saw that article.
That may be the greatest protest in the history right here. Did you watch that? I know we have some video feed of this, but listen. We had a gentleman that's out in Florida, right? And he's protesting because the neighbors throughout the canal are putting off fireworks the day before the 4th. And this guy gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning and yells across it. Here we go. Can they hear the volume? Can they hear it? Okay.
He's screaming.
He's yelling out, boom!
Firecracker!
Firecracker! The dogs are barking. The neighbors are pissed.
Going,
they call the cops on him.
Bottle rocket! Boom! And everybody's telling him, shut up!
And you too, they found out, he can get a ticket for the exact same thing that the neighbors were getting. And you know what? He was making his point. Little craziness, but you may be drunk. I don't know what would make, but it was when you hear the volume, and we'll send you that link. Hey, email us at bcblive@bcbtransport.com if you want that link. We'll send you that link. It is pretty daggum funny, though.
Yeah, across that canal, you can hear everything.
Oh yeah, I was saying that water, that noise just travels on that water.
Oh my God,
the dogs were going nuts. Let me tell you, and it was all in one thing, because I guess the day before. Some of the people were shooting him off at midnight, 1 o'clock, waking him up. So he decided to do a little favor back to him.
Yeah, and it's funny because he's just standing in the side of his yard there doing it too. You see him walk up slowly, and he's just standing there like, boom, firecracker. Like, man, I get it.
Bottle rocket.
Definitely protesting the noise because I heard some. You heard some in your neighborhood in the middle of the
I
night?
heard a little bit, not many though.
Yeah, I heard some. I think they were down in the call in that area back behind the house, but yeah, they were making them noise and that after everybody had everybody gets firecrackers.
I gotta say, this year has been probably the most amount of fireworks I've seen just in general. Not gated off areas and things like that where it's set up. I was actually going around. I was in Dallas this weekend, staying for the 4th, and the entire city was going crazy with fireworks. I mean, I walked outside with Chelsea because we were just going to walk down to the park where we saw some people shooting some off, and the entire area of the community was just in smoke. Like you could see the smoke rising out. It was crazy. It was like a war zone. Yeah.
And depending on where you are in Dallas, you got to be careful because it may not be fireworks you're hearing. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's Oak Cliff or somewhere around there. We got to be sensitive to what those aren't fireworks. That's a Tech 9. I mean, just. But those are dangerous. Fireworks are dangerous. They continue to be dangerous. They continue to take lives. And yesterday, a hockey player was killed by a firecracker.
That was about the worst. I set you up for. Let me just say something right here, producer. I set him up for a great transition on the firework thing. I thought you were going to rock right into your story. I was proud of myself for setting you up, and you didn't run right into the hockey player. I was waiting for it. I was like, come on, and you're rubbing them eyes again. Are you that tired?
No. I'm not tired at all yet. No, I wasn't up late at all. Went to bed early. I don't know that I just got maybe a little bit of.
I'm just making sure you're okay. I'm making sure you're okay. Tell us about the hockey player.
Hockey player was killed yesterday during a fireworks. A small percussion fireworks had gone off like a mortar type. Had gone off, hit him directly in the chest, and killed him instantly. So, I mean, hockey players are pretty tough too. They get hit, checked on the boards, and you would think that something like that, the fireworks aren't that dangerous, but they are definitely dangerous.
Yes, we have another breaking news. We have a recall for Cascadias, right? A few of them. I think it's 120,000 Cascadias and Western Stars. Don't think we have any Western Stars in our fleet, do we?
No, we do
Anybody?
not.
There's some of the Cascade is very. It's a battery cable that has been known to break. Yep. Okay, we're real careful since the crack of the bridge on I-40. We don't use crack anymore. Now we're going to the break. So it actually is breaking, causing that truck to stall out. Increasing the chance for an accident.
Yeah, I was reading it's almost every single Cascade. It's almost every single one. So. I don't see any for 3 years of model from 18 all the way to 21. I don't see any of them not being in that recall.
It says it was from 19 to 22. Freightliner Cascadia P4. What is that even?
It's just a model number.
Okay, so it's only that one right there. So I don't know how many they've made or not. Hey, Toyota. Did you see Toyota whooped? It barely beat us, but they were the first time ever a Japanese company outsold an American company inside the United States.
Yeah, I think
GM.
And I think it has to do with the chips, right?
100% to do with the chips. Toyota, do you think they have any special connections on those chips?
Probably.
Do you think they got a connection that somehow producer they were able to get a little bit more than GM?
Yeah, they were stockpiled. they stockpiled chips alone, not any other part, just chips.
No, how'd they know to do that?
Yeah.
You know what? Was that inside information going on there?
Oh my goodness!
But it was so they beat the U.S. and it wasn't by much, like 544 vehicles sold, but it was the first time that we show report of a Japanese company outselling the United States, that being GM.
So you know what? And a lot of those vehicles are actually made here. I mean, but they had done. I guess they had thought ahead, and as always, you plan ahead. And they were able to whip us.
Yep. Well, according to a statement from Toyota, they were building on the effects of the 2011 earthquake. So they eased away from a strict application of just-in-time producing for their systems in which parts are delivered right as they're needed. And instead, we're stockpiling a number of different parts as well to keep their stock always moving and always have something in case something like the earthquake or a tsunami or something like that were to happen again.
Yeah, Tsunami. Yeah, tsunami's a mean business over there.
No doubt. Hey, oil prices
Gone up.
gone up. The highest since the crash of 2014 is where we are right now. So, that West Texas crude, it's up to $76.95 a barrel.
They're pumping.
So we have quiz time for Drive Safe Dave.
There we go.
Drive Safe Dave. What does OPEC stand for?
They are petroleum exporting countries. It is, that's the last three. It is
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Company. I wrote it down because although I didn't know exactly what it stood for, I knew you wouldn't either.
I knew what it was. I knew what it was. It just took me because you asked me, but I knew what OPEC stood for.
Did you?
Yeah.
So they're saying they're holding millions in Russia, leading that charge, holding, millions of barrels inside the ground. They're not pumping them out right now, right? They're controlling that pricing. Why do it, right? It's kind of like, I think people are taking the old China, approach to how they're shipping the containers. You know what? If you don't put boats on the water with ships on them, all of a sudden now your 20-foot equivalents, they become more valuable. Right. Therefore, you're able to charge a $15,000, $20,000 surcharge on getting your container moved from China to the United States.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the economy's turning and everybody's running and people are getting back to using. I mean, when we weren't using oil, when we weren't running to work, when we weren't driving to work, when we weren't, then the demand was down. And I think the demand is up greatly.
Demand's crazy.
Yeah,
right now.
demand is great and it's not just cars. It's everything. I mean, we use oil to run our electricity. We use it to run our trains. We use it to run. So, I mean, oil is used in so much industry and whatever it is we do, and it's just super pumping. We're using it. We're using it across the board.
Hey, phrase that pays time, Drive Safe. You ready to do it?
Yeah, come on.
Yep, come on. Yep,
to
come
protect
on.
life at all costs.
Hold on a second. What the heck's going on?
I was
here?
waiting for it to come up on the screen. To protect life at all costs.
Let me just say something really quick. So, I know you wrote this phrase that pays because it's in your handwriting down there on the board.
That's
so,
the problem.
Okay.
He's looking down there and he wrote it, so he can't read it.
To protect life at all costs means situation awareness can't be lost.
One more time.
To protect life at all costs means situation awareness can't be lost.
All right, Drive Safe Dave. You wrote it. You've read it 14 times now. Tell us, what does that mean to the great Drive Safe Dave?
Here at BCB, we protect life first and foremost. That's what we do. And the BCBs of trucking, the forefront of the ideology.
Hold on a second. The BCBs of trucking. Go into that a little bit more.
The BCBs of trucking is the belief, the foundation on which we do safety here at BCB. It is how we not only believe, but it is how we act, and it is what we do here at BCB to make sure that we follow the rule of safety. And the primary focus is always to protect life. And if we want to protect life at all costs, we have to make sure that we are aware of the situation and that we know what's going on around us at all times, so that we can continue to do that each and every day.
Without a doubt. Hey, listen, we want that BCB Live. We want that in your heart. We want that in your mind. We want that in the decisions you make out there on the road. Do you need BCB Live, Drive Safe Dave? Do they need us? They need to come on forward. We're ready to baptize you into
walk on down.
BCB
Come on down to the
Live.
front.
It's all about safety here. Drive Safe. You hit the nail right on the head. It's about the passion to protect life, which means you have situational awareness in everything you do as well. Your speed, your space, you're focused on protecting life, which means you've got to recognize what's around you.
Yeah, and you've got to remember that's the primary deal. Whatever it is you're doing, however it is you're doing it, whether you're walking across the parking lot, whether you're backing into a spot, whether you're out there on the open road driving, whether you're taking your break, it doesn't matter. You want to make sure that you remember here at BCB, we do everything to protect life first.
Yeah, and it's not just our drivers out there, CSRs, operations folks. Hey, listen, it's what you're doing as well. On the road, on the highway, letting cars in, letting trucks in, the way you act. It's got to be a BCB Live mentality that goes to your heart. It's got to be reflected in all that you do. You can't be BCB Live from 9 to 5.
No.
Right?
No, it's
an all-day thing.
Yeah, it's not. You know what it is? It's a switch that finally comes on inside your mind. It's a switch that comes on inside your heart. It's a switch that you turn on and that you believe in, and it's bright, it shines, and it's what you want to do all the time. It's how you plan. It's how you react. It's how you do everything so that you remember that that's what we're here for. And that's the idea, that if you keep that in the forefront of what you do out there on the road, you're going to make the best decision.
Listen, here it is right here. If you need BCB Live in your heart, if you have that turned off and you want Drive Safe Dave to turn you on, email us at bcblive@bcbtransport.com.
Like the flip of a switch.
Hi, and welcome to Rapid Fire. Today we are joined by Music Man Mike. So you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Fave childhood TV show.
Oh, I'm going to go with Gilligan's Island.
Oh, that's a good one. On the scale of 1 to 10, are you good at keeping secrets?
Oh, 9.
Oh, okay. Is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat an animal cracker?
There's nothing wrong with animal crackers.
Have you ever worn socks with sandals? Tell the truth.
I have to tell the truth because my wife's probably going to see this.
So I'm guessing that's a yes.
And she calls me Felix because we know a guy that used to do it on a regular basis.
Okay. Do you know the definition of triskaidekaphobia?
Triskaidekaphobia. It's going to be something to do with frisbees, I think.
It's actually the extreme superstition of the number 13.
Oh, wow.
And what is the sound you would make if you were freezing cold?
No, that's a horse. I'm sorry. Brr.
I like it. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are here, and it is time to talk a little bit about Elsa, isn't it?
Yes, it is. A little bit about weather, a little bit about Elsa. Actually,
I don't think you're on green. You need to make sure you're on green, deep in your pocket.
right, there we go. Green. We on now?
So we got
BCB Live. We got to flip that switch. We got to be on.
I gotta be on. I'm here to turn you on. I'm here to flip it, help you make it happen.
That's Drive Safe's job. It's turning you on. So, no, we'll talk a little bit about, we'll get to the weather, but Elsa, plans to hit, or it's supposed to hit Florida later today, I believe.
What's the safety topics for today? What you got?
Safety topic for the day? Safest, deadliest month. This month.
In the 100 days?
100 days. Well, actually, just the deadliest month. I mean, this week it's the deadliest. And so yesterday we had the deadliest 100 days to drive. Today we have the deadliest months. Which months are the deadliest ones to drive in? So, and July is number 3. July is number 3. Number 1 is August. September's number 2. July is number 3, and June is number 4. So we talked about yesterday the 100 deadliest days to drive. The summer months definitely hit it. We talked about a lot of different reasons why that may be. You got kids out of school, for a couple of months, and so you have a lot more people on the road. You have vacations, day excursions to the beach, to the zoos, whatever. But then again, September is actually, like I said, the second deadliest month, and you got to stop thinking about, well, that's when kids are starting back. College is starting to go back in. We have college football games, we have stuff like that, and so. Really doesn't matter what month it is. We always have to have that passion for safety. We always have to have that situational awareness, speed and space management, drive safe, manage your no distracted driving, stay off the phones. Operation Safe Driver Week is next week, 11 to 17. Speeding is what the focus is. Part of the reason they're focusing on speeding is because 26% of all accidents, speeding was a factor in the fatalities. Let me rephrase that. If it was a fatality accident, 26% of the time, speeding was involved. That's part of the reason they're focusing on it. Like I said, Operation Safe Driver Week isn't just about big trucks. It's about all vehicles. Another thing they're going to be focusing on is distracted driving. Last year in 2019, distracted driving was the cause of 3,140 deaths on the road. And so, I mean, Operation Safe Driving Week is just a great week, just a great way for us to another level of focus. What's going on? Pay attention to our speed, distracted driving. Are we wearing our seatbelt? Anything, Dave?
No, I get it. I mean, 1/4 of every fatality accident was due to somebody driving too fast for conditions or faster than the posted speed limit.
Yeah.
I mean, just because it says 45 miles an hour and the roads are wet or in bad shape doesn't necessarily mean that's the safest way to, 45 is not what you need to do, right? I mean, that's
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we showed a video yesterday with on-ramp and it had the rollover sign. And I mean, I made a comment about, that sign is the law, and big trucks should be 5 to 10 underneath it. I
Right.
mean, we need to be, that's the safest way to handle
And
it.
the only reason that sign's there is because somebody rolled over. I mean, they don't just put them up because it's a good idea, right? I mean,
it wasn't arbitrary. It was like,
I mean, most of the time stoplights are put up because they needed, something needed to be done at that intersection.
Yep, to control traffic, to manage traffic through it. And so again, on the on-ramps, they put those signs up there to help manage it, to help, prevent the accidents. And so, we pay attention to them. It should be underneath them, 5 to 10 on the signs. So
Absolutely.
we'll go with weather. Let's look at the weather. All right. This is current right now.
It is.
It is current right now. So really not a whole lot going on. We'll start with some thunderstorms and storms going on down in southern Texas, and then up in the upper Midwest, we have a pretty good storm going on in northern South Dakota, southern North Dakota, a little bit into Minnesota. But we're going to talk quite a bit about, it's not Hurricane Elsa, it's Tropical Storm Elsa, sustained winds of 60 miles an hour, okay? In order for it to be a hurricane, it would have to be sustained winds of 75. There is a slight chance, they're saying there is a slight chance as it gets out over some open water, it may intensify. They really don't think that it will. It should just stay as a tropical storm. Landfall north of Tampa Wednesday morning is when it is. There are all kinds of warnings going on. Hey, Dave, all types of warnings going on in the Florida area and up through Georgia and South Carolina. Let's just put this in motion once and see where and how it tracks.
Tell me when you want me to stop it.
Let's stop right when we get to Tampa. Right there. Okay, so like I said, Wednesday morning about 3 a.m. is when it's going to first start impacting the Tampa, Florida area. Heavy rains, winds, like I said, 60 miles an hour, gust higher than that. All through the storm surge 1 to 3 feet. So, we have to be aware of that. If the road is flooded, do not try to go through it. I mean, do not try to go through flooded waters. Like Dave said, you can drown in a big truck. Let's put it back in motion, see where it tracks. There you go, Wednesday afternoon. By 4 o'clock Wednesday afternoon, we're, squarely in the middle of Florida, up northern Florida. Like I said, the winds are still high. We're getting a lot of rainfall for the most part, anywhere from 1 to 2 inches on the outskirts. 4 to 8 will be a pretty common localized rains of up to 15 inches. That will cause some serious flooding. Let's go up further because it will track through Georgia. There you go. That's Thursday morning. Early Thursday morning, we're into Georgia again. Same amount of rains all the way predicted all the way up through there, 4 to 8. And then we hit South Carolina later that day and contracts up. Stop a minute. The track actually has changed a little bit. It seems to have gone a little bit further inland than originally. Originally, they thought it was going to skirt more of the coastal area, but it has definitely gone inland a little bit further. Let's finish it out, see where it comes off.
And this could change. This is into Thursday. This could all change.
This can all change. Like I said, there we go. Friday morning is where it kind of kicks off, off of out from Washington, D.C. If we ran it a little bit further right now, it actually looks like it's going to go back up and catch part of New York and Massachusetts, where, again, originally it was going to go out. So like Dave said, this is all forecast. We're a couple, 3 days out. Things in weather can change pretty quickly.
I do know that it's taking the I-95 trek almost. It's like it's taking the freeway up the East Coast. I'm just going to, by what I'm watching, as it gets above Jacksonville and Georgia, it just takes I-95 all the way up into Virginia, it looks like. and it takes that track. So we got to be mindful. We'll watch it. We'll continue to monitor it. You can see the amount of moisture that's coming in. It doesn't matter as you look, the amount of moisture that's coming in off of the Gulf throughout all of the southern states over the next few days is pretty incredible as it dumps moisture inland all the way from Texas all the way to Florida, and then with the culmination of the tropical storm in Florida. But I just see that there's just a ton of moisture dropping everywhere across the. We got to be mindful. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're in Texas from Corpus all the way to Florida. It looks like if you're on I-10, you got to be mindful of what's going on and be aware that you're probably going to get wet.
Yeah, and the hurricane will also spawn a lot of tornadoes, random tornadoes, and a lot of times on a storm like this, it won't give a lot of notice that it's going to come, just as if some cell intensifies. And so be aware, there may be tornadoes out there also.
Yeah, and I was trying to mention it earlier. As it takes that track north on 95, a lot of the times you're going to lose power in those situations. When you dump 15 inches of rain and you have heavy winds like that, you typically lose power, which means power to where you can pump, where you can fuel, power to where you go with customers or receivers, and all these more than likely. So we'll continue to monitor that as we move forward into tomorrow and the next day, and make sure that we're all aware of what's going on. And I think you're going to continue to update where we're at, what it looks like throughout the day and also through tomorrow.
Okay, let's take a quick look at some temperatures, see where we're at temperature-wise. Right now, so let's kick into this afternoon, 3 p.m. We still have a really hot area of the United States out. Phoenix is triple digits. Las Vegas is triple digits. Boise, Idaho is still in triple digits. That's really still extremely hot up in there. Salt Lake City, 90. Pretty moderate temperatures. I say, we're in the 80s and 90s through the middle of the United States. I say that's moderate, but for this time of year, those are pretty moderate temperatures. And then again, Washington, D.C. up on the eastern seaboard in the 90s. Those are extremely high temperatures for this time of year up in New York and Washington. It was kind of a light traffic weekend, and so videos were down. And again, this just goes to show this one is great speed and space, great lane change. I mean, look how far back he gets on over, eases on out, makes that out there. Again, guys, I just truly amazed day after day how many videos we have of just showing our drivers doing things right, making it safer for everybody out there to help protect life. Again, just a great example of speed and space, nice, easy lane change out there.
And I watched this video and I like the fact that you get over and get away from and get around this guy, the Beverly Hillbillies running a tarp load with as much as they can get in the back. I don't know if you could load. I mean, I've seen people attempt, but I don't know if you could get much more tarped under that pickup, right?
I'm telling you what, that guy did a heck of a job packing there. Let's hope he has it, secured.
Load securement, big deal. It's a big deal to me.
Oh, what we got here? I love this one. What I really like about this one is how to create space in front of you, how to keep the space in front of you. If you'll notice, everybody seems to be pulling away. I think we're probably in a 70-mile-an-hour zone and we're running 65. So if we're running 3 to 4, 5 miles slower than everybody else, traffic will always be pulling away from us. We will always be able to maintain that speed and space in front of us.
Oh yeah, it's just a good video.
Great job. So here's one, even though, to Dave's point, we're definitely in a metropolitan area. Look at how many lanes of traffic we have. But look at how nice our driver is, just hanging back, being patient, keeping that space in front of him in case somebody comes darting up alongside of him or wants to pull over. Just taking it nice and easy, being patient. I know a lot of times we get into heavy traffic, and it's hard to be patient. It's hard to, you see these four-wheelers doing the silly things. But this driver's just doing a great job allowing traffic, to flow, going with the flow and keeping his space.
I look at these and when you do these kinds of maneuvers and when you do this stuff right here, you get a genuinely great big picture of what's going on around you and of what's happening. You're not as stressed to look in the side mirrors. You're not as stressed to look at this merge point. You can relax a little bit and just be aware of what's going on. When you're this far back and you're moving this slow, you're probably going to get somebody to dart in front of you. But you're prepared. You're genuinely prepared, and you have a great big picture, right? When you can see all of the traffic like this, you're not you can see everything that's going on, and that right there just sets you up for success.
There you go. And here I just said, if you got to take a break, you might as well take a break with a view, and this is just a great view. Getting out, relaxing. What more can I say? Take a break with the view.
Okay, I was just taking a break. We're just going to sit here and watch this one. Just going to hang out and watch this one. Where are we at on this one?
We're out in Oregon, Depot Bay, Oregon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Baker. I bet this is Mr. Baker right here.
I'll bet you're right.
I bet this is Mr. Baker right here enjoying the beautiful side. Is that him down there with a fishing pole? I think I see him down there with a fishing pole trying to catch some salmon. I think that was kind of trying to catch one of them big salmon.
Yeah, like I said, it was. I've never been up down the Oregon coast, and so that was nice to see that. And I thought, like I said, if I got to take a 30-minute break or if I got to pull over, it's pretty nice to have something to relax.
That's a little bit more than a 30-minute break action right there going on. I'm going to tell you that right now. I swear I thought I saw Mr. Baker out there with a pole.
Well, as long as he didn't break out the surfboard or the boogie board, right? So,
hey, it's summertime. All right, rock and roll.
There you go. We have any callers this morning?
All right, pretty quiet, huh? But yeah, you know what? There was not very much controversy going on the videos this morning, right? They all looked really good.
Yeah. Like I said, it was pretty light videos. I pulled them yesterday afternoon, and for July 4th and up until yesterday afternoon, there were only 51 videos. And so normally it's about 150 to 200 in that type of time frame.
I went out yesterday for just a little bit, just to go run a couple of errands, and I pretty much tried to stay indoors and enjoy the home, because I had gone out the day before, but I'd run a couple of errands, and there was nobody on the highway. There was nobody on the road. I came to work yesterday. There was nobody. I came in early yesterday. I did the show yesterday, and I came in early, and there wasn't anybody on the highway. And then I came, when I went home, it was barren, and then I ran an errand because my wife had something for me to do. So I ran a quick errand. There was no one out yesterday at all, no one out really running. And I hope that translated to what was going out on the highways and translated to what was going out into the open roads, right?
Yeah, with the safe driving out there.
Yeah, I think that made it a lot better for everybody in regards to being out there running. And if you were running, then I hope that you enjoyed the day in the open road. Yeah, who you got, Dylan?
Yeah, we got David Mason. What do you have for us this morning?
What's up, David?
Hey, good morning, guys. I was just gonna say it did not translate to out here. I-44 quarter yesterday was jam-packed.
Well, there you go. I tried to.
Yeah, that's right. Dave, you jinxed it, man.
I didn't jinx it. I was just hoping it out there, and Dave just shot me down and said, no, I-44 was jacked. Yeah, what you got?
Yeah, we got William Stevens. What do you have for us this morning?
What's up, Mr. Stevens? No dice. All right. Yeah, we got a. I don't know, the hand raise thing is kind of tough sometimes, right?
Well, I just want to say thanks to all our drivers and everybody, drivers, crew, DMs, everybody for making it a pretty quiet overall weekend, holiday weekend. No accidents going on. Our streak is alive, 49-6. We're getting there. Tomorrow's the half-century mark on the preventable, so let's keep it safe out there.
Yeah. All right. Hey, and everybody, remember that over the next few days, we're getting into the tough months, right? We're getting into the tough.
We're in the heart of the tough months.
Yeah, we're in the heart of it. So you got to remain focused and continue to make sure that you do what needs to be done out there. Continue to send in the great videos, the awesome videos, and the videos of doing what needs to be done out there on the road. I'll tell you as we do it and we get ready for Safe Driving Week next week, we're going to continue to mention it, right? It's Tuesday. We're going to continue to mention next week. We're going to continue to bring it up. But we got to remember that it's not just us out there on the road doing what we do. It is all the crazies. It's the absolute crazy people making crazy decisions, being in too big of a hurry, and all we have to do is we have to slow our roll, right? Slow it down, be a little bit calmer, be a little bit better in these situations, and make sure that we continue to do what we need to do. All right, everybody. As we'll get right back with HR, right?
It is Tuesday, and hopefully everybody made it through the weekend safe and sound. Today, I just want to remind everyone, we really do enjoy sharing your announcements, news, sharing pictures. So anything you have like that, please, please, please send it to us. You can email us at hr@bcbtransport.com, or you can also send it to the BCB Live email, and that is bcblive@bcbtransport.com. And remember, it can be anything, pictures you want to share, an anniversary, a birth, anything like that. Please send it. We love talking about those things and just celebrating everybody. And speaking of celebrations, today we've got 2 anniversaries. They are both in office. And the first one is for Heather Long. She's celebrating 1 year with BCB today. And the second one is for Erin Cox. And she is celebrating 6 years with BCB. So congratulations to both of you. Thank you for all you do. We really appreciate you. Everyone, please continue wearing your mask, washing your hands, using that antibacterial. Have a good day.
All right, everybody, and we're back. And as always, we're back with the Danger Rangers here in the studio to talk a little bit of safety, a little bit of what a topic that is up for discussion so that we can continue to do the BCBs of trucking. What have you got for us today, Sir Hector?
Actually, I was going to start doing I was going to go back over the Smith system, and I was going to work on just reviewing those again. But, I will tell you that this week was a rough week for me. So, I like to, when I think about things and things happen to me, and I like to associate them with what we do here in the office and what you guys are going through out there on the road. And I know Bob has talked about this extensively, but fatigue. So I have worked basically, this will be the 10th day in a row that I've worked. I basically worked Monday through Friday last week, all day Saturday. I worked, Dover, not just came to work. There's a difference.
Wow.
Oh, so anyway, and I worked a lot. I worked a lot in the last 10 days. And it got me to thinking about the driver on the road that's driving 10, 11 hours a day, that has a 14-hour day, that, this is what you guys do. And more than that, the one, for me, bright spot is that I got to go home. And I slept in a bed. And even though I got back up the next day, I still felt the fatigue of coming to work every day and being here at 5 o'clock in the morning and staying till 3 or 3:30 in the afternoon, and then doing that same routine over and over and over. So what I wanted to go over today was, this is a real thing. I mean, mine is just minor, but the bottom line is when you guys are out there on the road and you're driving along and you feel the fatigue, you need to let us know. You need to pull over. You need to get that extra hour of sleep. Listen, we get it. We understand that there are times when you have to take an 11-hour break or a 12-hour break, or if you don't think that you can go and you pull over on the side of the road and you take a nap. I mean, that's what we need to do because, again, as we've always talked about on the show, your safety is the most important thing that we have here. You being safe, you guys doing the right thing, and being tired on the road, man, there is nothing more worrisome and scary when you're driving down the road and you blink that first time and you open your eyes and you've gone 400 or 500 feet or a little bit further than that, and you get hypnotized. So, I guess my point to you today is, hey, if you're feeling fatigued, if you're feeling ill, if you're feeling anything out of the ordinary that's not making you 100% focused on what you need to do on the road, then you need to pull over and give us a call. Because, again, our number one goal is to protect not just the people out there on the road or the general public, but it's also to protect you. And as long as we're working to protect you, that's the most important thing to do. So again, folks, and I just can't stress this enough, fatigue is a tough deal to deal with. And again, we've talked about drivers in the past that have been with other companies where that's not a good excuse to pull over. This is not that way here at this company, I promise you. Our number one concern is your safety and your general well-being. And that's part of it. Because, again, we've talked about in the past getting out, walking around the truck, or, when you get up in the morning, stretching out, getting yourself prepared for the day, getting your coffee or whatever you drink. This is just as important if we need to get out and stretch around and walk around and get the blood flowing again so that you guys can get back on the road and be focused. Because it is tough to be focused. It is tough to be focused for 10 hours a day. It really is. And, we are definitely asking a lot from you. But, again, what we are asking is that you take the opportunities that you have before you and call us and let us know, communicate with us, let us know what's happening. That way we can get whatever we need done for you. Because again, this company is all about you. There is no us without you. And if we're putting you in a position where it's dangerous, we need to do something about that.
You know, we talk about being tired, and you know, we talk about fatigue, and and it just doesn't have to be with just work. I can tell you from personal experience over the years, and it didn't just relate to me, but you know, I would go home and I would like be on the road for a couple weeks. I'd come home and I would rest, but I'd also have a honeydew list that needed to be done. It wasn't like I got to come home and just hang out and eat popcorn and watch movies, right? I mean,
No.
there were certain things that had to be done in the
Mhm.
short period of time that I was at the house, and you know, and a lot of the times, that first day back, that first day back after running was the hardest time because I had to get my body back in the sync of doing the job that done so long, and it was that very first day. You jump into the truck and you get going, and then you realize you get down the road about 5 hours, and you realize I'm exhausted. My wife worked me to death, or whatever the case is, or whatever it is you've done. You overcommitted your time, and then you get back in the truck and you realize that you're tired. It's not just from working.
Mhm.
It's your very first, you just cracked your 70, right? You're
Right.
just cracking your 70. And you realize in those moments too that, you know what, I, I'm not at full potential right now. And it happens to everybody. You know,
Right.
you get back from work. So it's not just being at the, you know, it's not just working, you know, 10 hours every day or what have you. Those are kind of some of the routines that drivers actually get used to. It's that what do you call it? It's that interruption in that routine, right? That I've been home for 34 and I was on the couch eating popcorn and watching movies or what have you, but my sleep cycle was changed a little bit different from my driving cycle. And yeah, that first day out translates into a very difficult and sometimes the hardest day
Right.
is that first day, right? You know,
Exactly.
people are like, "Hey, he's got a fresh 70. He can run." I'm telling you, those are some of the toughest days that you face is that first 70, the first 10 off of that 70. Those are some of the hardest ones. And of course, you know, that can set in any of those hours. You know, you don't really know when fatigue's going to strike. You don't really know when you're genuinely going to be tired. And we talk about it. We talk about, you know, communicating it with us.
Mhm.
But I think the real challenge is when we become honest with ourselves.
Mm.
I think denial plays a huge part in, oh no, I got this. I'm okay. You know, there's going to have to be times when you have to be honest when you realize you're tired,
Right.
right? When you realize that, hey, and everybody knows what that is. Everybody really knows. I mean, we've all worked tired, but there's a point in which you're affected by what you're doing. And we've all worked, and what we need to do is make sure that we're ready, all right, and that we're honest with ourselves, because I think that's probably some of the most difficult thing is you know, oh, I've got this, or oh,
Mhm.
I know what I'm doing, right?
Right,
I
right.
mean, we got to genuinely be honest with ourselves, and then relate that over to the driver manager so that they can react accordingly.
I think the toughest part for any driver, and I know in general when in any work that you do, because I know there's a pride factor that you have within yourself that that you are given a responsibility and that responsibility has to be carried out. Because I know a lot of times that's how we feel here. We put that, and a lot of driver managers will stay late to finish their job to make sure that everything that they're supposed to do is taken care of. A lot of people here in the office do the same. They stay, they're supposed to leave at 3 o'clock and they'll leave at 4, 5, 6 because they know those things have to be completed. And we know that in the same respect that our drivers are the same way. They have a responsibility. And I know, like I said, when I worked at other companies, other trucking companies, we there's a couple of places that we pushed the driver probably more than we should have, and we put them in a bad situation, probably an unsafe situation, because from the company standpoint, that freight had to be delivered, and we get that here. I mean, like I said, I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot of what we've done to drivers in the past, and we're trying to change that here. The culture here is changed, and again, it's important that you guys understand that. We get it. We get it. You're under pressure. You're under. You got so many things out there on the road that you have to deal with. Not just the time constraints, but the traffic and the people that are on the cell phones, and it's utterly insane some of the things that we do, what you guys have to do out there. So again, I cannot, put that pride factor away. If you're tired, you're tired. I mean, that's the bottom line. If you're tired, you're tired. Call us and let us know, and we'll work to make sure that we can change your appointment, or we can change your pickup time. Whatever we need to do, we can work it. But our most important thing is you and the safety of you, the safety of the people around you, because you are driving a huge vehicle that will do a lot of damage. We've seen it.
Yeah,
We've seen it.
and I think it also is important to know how when you plan your day and when you plan your week, that you will also contribute to the plan of getting the rest you need.
Right.
I mean, that you also work hard to make sure that you are genuinely prepared, right?
Mhm.
I say that with that we are ultimately responsible for what we need to do to make sure
Right.
that we're ready, and we talk about when you are tired, and we talk about when you aren't ready, and all these things. I'm also saying it's important that we realize in safety that if we want to be ready, we need to make sure we do what we can to get the rest we need, and that we find that we make sure that we do what it takes to get there, right?
Right.
I mean, I know that we get tired and we talk about those things, but we also got to talk about making sure that we do the things necessary so that we are rested.
Mhm.
That we do get the rest we need. I think some of the mistakes that I made on my 34 is that I tried to cram as much into that 34 that I could do. And I think we all make that, we cram as much as we can into that 34 to make sure that we get everything that we can or that time off so that when we get back out of there on the road, we didn't miss anything, that we made up for the time we weren't at the
Right.
house. And you can't.
Mhm.
You genuinely can't. You can do all that you can, but I just want to make sure everybody realizes that it is up to them, to make sure that you get some rest when you have rest period, right? And that you do what you can to be rested, and that you make the great choices that go along with being rested, right? We talk about what to do when we're not rested, but we also want to talk about what we want to do to get the rest we need, because I think that's just as valuable.
Sure.
Right? I mean, I think it's just as important that we do and we make good choices, not only about our diet,
Mhm.
but about when we lay down and our sleep habits. I have a certain routine that I take. To get to that moment to go to sleep. I have a certain. My wife 9 seconds. I don't even know what her routine is, but I think she inhales once and then she's asleep. I'm not sure how that works. I haven't figured that out yet. I wish I had that. The problem is with her is that 9 seconds she's down, and in 18 minutes she's back up. And I haven't figured that she can't wake up. But and that's her dilemma, right? But me, it takes me. I usually wait till she's up the first time, and then I can go back to sleep because then we have that period. But it takes a little while for me to wind down. I guess you probably haven't believed that I'm a little hyper.
That's an understatement.
I might be
A little.
I might be a little hyperactive, but I've always had it a little, and it takes me a moment to wind down, and I have to do a certain routine when I lay down. But I think that not only goes hand in hand, realizing where we are, it also realize what we need to do to get better prepared.
Right.
And sometimes that means parking a little early,
Mhm.
eating a little bit early or not as much, or eating, comfortably and not, making yourself miserable at night, and making some really good decisions so that you can sleep better and to rest at a good period so that when you do wake up, you are rested. But there'll be times when you're not. And there'll be times when you're still tired. There'll be times when you sleep 8 hours and you wake up and you're still tired. And if you need to stop somewhere along the way and take an hour nap, I encourage that, and I encourage you. Remember, we have split sleepers now, right? We have an ability to extend our clock. We have the ability to do things now that we've never done before, and all that we ask is that you communicate with us, that your
Mhm.
plan, right?
Mhm.
I don't mind if you stop and pull over and along your way, and you do what you need to do to get better refreshed. All we ask is that you communicate it, right, Hector?
Right.
Because you're going to look and go, hey,
Yep.
he stopped. Is something wrong?
Right.
Right? You don't want, that's not what we want. We don't want you to worry the DM. We don't want you to freak the DM out because it happens.
Sure.
I mean, because you see a guy stop for an hour and a half along his route, you're concerned, right?
Right.
You don't know if the driver's sick or if something's gone wrong, and you want to make sure that whatever the driver is doing, you want to make sure that they're well.
Right. So that's just that I think is the most important thing that you do is just communicate with us, because again, things happen, and that's just part of trucking. I mean, we know blowouts, breakdowns, fatigue, fueling. I mean, those are things that happen.
Wind, rain,
All that.
weather,
I mean,
traffic. It
Ice,
continue long
shutdown.
lines at the truck stop. I mean, you can get caught behind. You can get into the Loves, and it may be 45 minutes before you make it to the fuel island. I mean, it can get crazy out there, and things happen. Make sure you just communicate that, and you know what? A simple message.
Sure.
Just-
Even
just
that
say-
driver tech message,
Just say, hey, look, caught in the fuel island for 45 minutes. This sucks. I mean, you can send that.
Sure. But we're not, again, and understand, from a DM standpoint, all of it, we've all been trained to understand that the driver's going to have issues and we need to work with the driver. We're not going to sit there and berate you for having to pull over to take a rest or having to, take a break or whatever. I mean, that's not part of what we do here. So again, just give us a call. Just say, hey, this is what's up. I need to take a short nap, or I need to break for a little bit. I'm not feeling the greatest, or whatever it is. I mean, it's just a simple phone call or a simple message, even a text message to your DM. Just something where we know what's going on. Because again, if you're going to be down,
Talk to me.
yeah,
Talk to me. Let me know
my
what's
gosh.
going on. Talk. No, I get it, man. Just communicate. Let everybody know what's going on. Well, I thank you very much, Hector,
thank
for coming in, man. It is all about communication, right?
right, all the time.
It is step 2, right? Step 1, be safe first. Step 2 is
Mhm.
communicate about it.
Exactly.
So let's go ahead. Do me a quick favor. Say a quick prayer so we can get out of here.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for another blessed day in your world. Thank you for everything you bestowed upon us, Lord. Again, we just pray for our drivers every day. There are so many things out there, so many dangers, and so many things that are put in their way every day. And we know the importance of their health and their safety. And we continue to pray that they will do the right thing and give us a call. Let us know what's happening out there so that we can help them, so that we can be part of what they do. So we lift them up to you, Lord, just for you to hold them and hug them and love them as they go along their way, and just keep them safe in all that they do. As always, Lord, we pray for their families as they are left alone for 1 or 2 weeks so that they can go out and a living is being made. Thank you for the opportunity to work here at BCB. Thank you for Rick and Brian and everything they do. Continue to pray for the folks that work here in the office, that we continue to do the right thing and that we continue to move forward to help our drivers get where they need to get. Thank you for your son who gave his life for our sins. In your heavenly name we pray, amen.
All right, everybody. Remember, Dylan, you're going to be doing, starting the next hour, starting at 9:15, you're going to be jumping on and just kind of giving a weather update. If you want to if you want to tune in at 15 minutes after the hour all day long, and also today and tomorrow as we continue to monitor the weather situation that is occurring in the Gulf with Elsa. Dylan, you're going to do your part real quick, just to give a quick update. If you want to jump in and jump on, if you have any questions, you can always ask Dylan during that time frame as well. He's going it right. You're going to be doing that, and we're going to continue to monitor and keep everybody updated. If we make any business decisions in regards to the weather as it is occurring, we will let y'all know in those moments as well. Along with that, hey, everybody, be safe, be mindful, and be careful out there, and be a blessing to somebody else today by not only taking care of yourself, but by taking care of the person next to you each and every time. With that, God bless, Godspeed, and drop the mic. See you at 2:15.